Hello, sir.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
I am good. I thought we should tell the people what happened yesterday.
Yeah.
So we go to record, and it turns out that I had gotten dongled.
Apple.
Yeah. So I brought my mic to where it needed to be, but not the thing that lets me plug it into Lightning. We started up, and I was like, I can make it work. It sounds okay. And then we're like, nah, we care too much. We rescheduled the recording because we're professionals, and professionals care about sound quality.
Yeah, I mean, you can't be having, AirPod audio in your ears or whatever. It's not.
Speaking of which, a quick rant on this. It blows my mind the number of people that I will hear go on a podcast that I know gets like 100,000 downloads and is like clearly like a pretty big marketing win for them or like an audience thing, and they have terrible sound quality.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I picked the most echoey room in my incubator, and I'm using these crappy AirPods, and you have to listen to this.
I think it's just a lack of education out there. Like, people don't realize how cheap you can get good audio. You're holding your microphone right now because you're kind of in flux and don't have your boom arm thing set up. And still, I don't think anyone's noticed, It's just these mics are that good.
Yeah, by the way, you want the Audio-Technica ATR 2100 USB. It sounds amazing. It doesn't pick up extra room noise. There could be construction going on outside. It's fine. If you're going to start a podcast, it costs like $80. I think there's even like a version 2 now. That's what you have. That's what I have. They sound great, and they're amazing, and they're cheap, and they plug into almost all things as long as you don't have an Apple laptop.
Yeah. Let's go get that sponsorship from Audio-Technica.
Yeah, they should.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're back. We sound good. We're ready to rock.
Oh yeah. We're trying a new thing, recording in the morning, and we've talked about this off air. I think I want to try doing mornings for a little while because I've noticed on recording days, even though this is a fun thing to do and it doesn't take a ton of prep, I've noticed my afternoon leading up to recording, I always have kind of like a background thread going of like, oh, what am I going to talk about today? And I'm just kind of noodling on it, and I think it might be impacting my productivity a little bit, or just kind of like the symptom of having like a hard stop in a day can be tricky. It can either be a good thing or a bad thing. Sometimes you're like, I only have an hour to get done what I'm working on. I better be productive. But if I'm working on a looser, more creative task or something, then I'm like, I've got this hard stop. I don't have time to even get into that this afternoon, So
I think we should flip it all the way, and we should go like Jocko Willink style and record this at like 4:30.
Oh my gosh. Gosh.
Then it will definitely not interrupt your day.
Mm-hmm.
It'll just interrupt your REM sleep instead.
Yeah. When in doubt, just give up sleep, right? That's good advice, right?
We should record 10 podcasts, half at 4 a.m. and half at 4 p.m. and see if people can tell the difference.
Yeah, split test.
Exactly. You may already be in a split test.
Yeah.
You may have gotten the B version of this episode, which has totally different content.
Yep.
Hey, I was thinking, speaking of split tests the other day, it's interesting to me how I haven't used all of them, but it seems like most email tools, customer messaging tools, and things like that, they build A/B testing later in the process, which makes sense. It's not the first thing you start with. It seems to me like a tool should be pushing you to be testing stuff as the default path. Whereas it seems like most tools treat it as like, oh, this is the fancy professional path. But if it was just like every time I went to send a broadcast in drip, if it was like, give us 2 subjects and we'll test them and then you'll know. Or like, especially for like an automated email, like if this is going to go out again and again, like why isn't the default that?
I think it's a fair point. I think the main reason why this is what we kind of came up against when we were architecting split testing was, one, people like the idea of it, but the users are not super comfortable with it, I don't think. And probably the bigger issue is sample size. Like, most people don't have sufficient sample size to really run like a statistically significant split test.
That's probably true, but isn't it better to do it anyway? Like, is it just garbage data? Like, I don't know.
The idea behind statistical significance is like, if you haven't reached that certain threshold, then you really can't trust the data. Like, if one's telling you that this is performing better, but you don't have enough sample size, then it's anecdotal. It's not, it could swing the other way. Like,
maybe it has low confidence of being actually better.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if by default you just pick one, you have zero confidence that that's the right one.
Right. Yeah, that's
versus
true.
maybe you have a 50% chance that this one actually outperforms the other one, or 60 or something. Who knows what it is? But it seems to me even weak data in a split test is probably better than not testing at all, unless you're talking like, a dozen conversions or something really small where it's just total noise. But then even then, the tool could kind of let you know. It's like, hey, you've only sent 20 of these. We're not even to tell you, that one's better than the other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just I always have this like not guilt or something, but I'm like, is this the best subject line for this email? It's an important email. I don't know, but I often don't get around to or setting up the A/B test.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was an interesting experience when we were built split testing in Drip, because I think there's a lot more in it now in its current iteration, but for the longest time there were just a few simple types of split tests you could do. I think campaigns, subject lines, and delivery times. It was, so only for campaigns that were the recurring sequences, not the one-offs. And I think we surveyed the user base and it came up as like one of the top requested features when we were trying to figure out, where to take the product after our initial version of the product. And so we built it. It got very little use. It was pretty stratified. It was crazy.
That would totally be my guess. I think it's one of those things you should probably do, but you don't get around to it. And that's why it seems to me this is a thing you would want to build in as look, this is actually just the best way to do it. And so we're going to have that be the default path. It's like, okay, you are creating a new automated message. What metric are you trying to improve? That one? Okay, cool. We're going to automatically set up a control for you and only email half the people and make sure that see what the metric does. I wish there's more of that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting.
Instead, I have to rely on my own discipline, which is, it's not that reliable.
Yeah. Because, you can do it right now in Drip, I'm assuming, with broadcast. I haven't tried it recently.
Sure, yeah.
But it's just the extra clicks where you're like...
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just deterrent enough.
There's a big difference between this is how you do it, and then you can opt into this other thing over here, which is more work, but you probably should do. It's like the organ donor thing. It's like if you're already an organ donor and you have to opt out, it's just completely different compliance rates.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
Anyway, so I sent some emails to our marketing list, or to our just list of people that want to hear about us. So we offered a free trial to everybody.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're doing it on both plans, the freelancer plan and the team plan, and just sent it everywhere. And now everyone that signs up on the website gets the free trial offer. Turns out if you take a thing that costs $100 and you make it cost $0, you get more people doing it.
Who knew?
Yeah. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
It's we had 50 or 60 in the last week, which is pretty awesome because that's more than we had in the previous month, which is awesome. I'm sure this is not the steady state of new trials because, we blasted 6,000 people or something. But it's still fun to see. It's exciting. And it also feels like there's more, just because more people are getting into the product and using it, there's more tweets that I'm seeing and people talking about it more. It feels like it's a little bit more active there, which is great. Although, of course, we have the flip side, which is I'm looking at the trials and of those 50 or 60, a dozen of them signed up and then have done nothing. And it's well, did they have one user? So what? It's they went through the process and entered the credit card and then maybe installed the app, but maybe not, but then they're just by themselves. So of course we have, that's the downside. So one of my tasks today is to try to bribe these people and get them to move to the next step. We're getting our first versions of our T-shirt today, the prototypes basically. And so I'm going to figure out what we need to change and then start offering these to people, I believe, which is kind of fun to me.
You think you're going to offer them this early in the stage of someone just signed up for a trial and you're trying to get them to move forward, or are you going to wait until they're a little bit further along?
This is the kind of thing I want to A/B test, right? It's this costs money. So I would like to know this actually does something. My plan was just to go through and just offer it to everyone, basically. It's wherever you are in the funnel, if you're not basically activated, just whatever the next step is, then offer them. If you do the next step, I will say, you can have a T-shirt. Yeah. Again, does that actually move the needle? It would be a bummer if it didn't because we're spending money on it.
Yeah. I wonder if there's if there's an easy filter of they have to at least respond to an email from you or something first before they can get the shirt or something, some way to the people who are just really I'm just curious to see what Tuple is, but I have no intentions of moving forward, or I don't have a team or whatever. Some way to filter those people out. But maybe they wouldn't even give you their mailing address in the first place if they're not if they're not engaged or something.
I'm more inclined to like not really worry about that too much and just assume that it's like that'll happen at the margins, but whatever. If I can push like one team that would have just never activated into, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people, it's like, okay, that paid for a lot of shirts really fast.
Yeah. Probably the right approach at this stage. Like, you don't really know what it's really gonna cost you. So just try it at a small scale and then see like if you need to adjust.
I do kind of want to know it's working. I do kind of want to have a control group, I think. Otherwise, you're kind of cargo culting. It's like, well, we've always done this and everything seems to work, so let's keep doing it, versus we actually tested this and it had no effect, so let's try something else.
Yeah. That's always the hard part of doing things at relatively small scale. It's hard to get that confidence that like, is it working because of what I'm experimenting with right now, or is it just would it have worked anyways? And it's like, the fact that you can't split test reality is frustrating.
Super annoying. File a bug on that one.
Yeah.
But also, I just think it's kind of fun. Like, I kind of like the idea of like we have shirts out there and there's like our logo on the back, and like people might say like, oh, that's cool or cute or funny or whatever. Like, where'd you get that? Like, it could have these sort of follow-on effects. Also, just like seems like a good time to me. I kind of enjoy this idea. Like, we're spreading this thing in the world. We also started doing stand-ups.
Oh, did you?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. You sound a little apprehensive about it or something.
I'm into it. I was apprehensive at first because it felt like kind of going back to some of those like, scrummy big company kind of things. And I was not that jazzed. But it feels like it's giving us a good sense of energy. Like where we sort of start off by saying like, here's what I did yesterday, here's what I'm doing today. Just like being like really on top of what everyone is doing is nice. Like we sort of always kind of new-ish, but like it's nice to have everyone sort of state things. And I think it's kind of focusing. It is for me for sure. It's like I want to get good things done on Thursday so that on Friday morning I can say I got the good things done, and then I'm going to do more today. And it just kind of applies like a little bit of social pressure, I guess. I've actually been digging it.
I think that was like the first element of structure that we added on at Team Drip once we started feeling the need to kind of have a little more information sharing going on, or a little bit more goal setting or whatever. And I think it's one of those things where you can do it in a lightweight way that doesn't turn into overly burdensome,
Yeah.
So.
Yep. So yeah, I feel good about it. I'm into it now. And then further on the like process and structure thing, we are all currently reading Shape Up.
Ah, yeah.
The other day we kind of had like this meeting of like trying to figure out what to do next and prioritize and where should we track this, and like it kind of emerged to me after like a half an hour of kind of debating things. It's like none of us have a process we feel strongly about and that we really like. And so I just sort of threw out like, what if we just all read this book and then just see if it works? Like let's all read it by Monday, and then we'll kind of adapt it as we need to, but then just kind of see if it feels like it's good for us.
Yeah. What has your like project planning structure looked like so far? Because I mean, the Shape Up thing is like the 6-week cycles, and there's kind of a specific methodology to it. Have you guys been pretty loose about like we just kind of have a list and we kind of know what our priorities are and pull them off?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. There often isn't even totally a list. Like it's just kind of like, all right, what should we do next? It's like, well, we've been hearing this a lot, or this seems important, or whatever. Classic startup chaos, which I'm pretty comfortable with. Like I don't think it's that bad. I was saying to Spencer and Joel that all processes have pros and cons. We're having some pains with what we're doing now, which is, very ad hoc and unstructured. There are pros and cons to that. And then adopting a new thing will have a different set. And so we have to make sure that we're solving like a problem we actually have, because we're going to be adopting some downsides for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And hopefully, so I should really read this because there's been so much commentary about it in the industry, like it kind of made waves, and I think in a good way. So I feel like I should be informed. But I hope that inside this book, there's like escape hatches. Like what are places where it's okay to kind of break out of the mold? Because I feel like that would be really helpful. If it's like, in general, by default, you should stick to this certain cadence of planning work and doing it. But then like, what are the places where you should break the rules, in the name of being responsive to customers, or just because you're small enough and you could be agile, lowercase agile, or whatever,
Totally. I do know that there's a section for smaller teams where he talks about where you might want to build in some more flexibility to the process. And actually, I really like the take, which is they say if you're on a smaller team, rather than adopting these specific practices that we're doing, kind of just think about the things that are true in the world, the realities that are somewhat inescapable. Like in order to get work done, you basically have to shape it first. You have to decide what the work is. So maybe the process is not exactly the way we do it, but realize that you have to do that shaping thing. And that is for sure has been a pain point for us. That's the thing I'm kind of most excited about, is that it has happened a couple times where I've asked Spencer or Joel to do something and they do a thing and I'm like, that's not what I wanted. And that sucks for everybody, right? That's just no fun. And so like we're realizing now that there are, first of all, not really any small features. Like just because it's easy to say a thing doesn't mean you're thinking of the same thing or it's actually going to be easy to do. And there's actually often a lot of surprising implications. So exploring that area first and determining those, there's a rabbit hole over here, watch out for this, is really worthwhile. But also just having a written document where it's like, I wanted to do this and this and this, and this is important and this is not important, even for something seemingly small is probably the right call.
Totally. Well, I'm interested to hear, how it, what you guys think of the book after you read it, and then, the kind of the things you're thinking about implementing from it. Looking forward to that.
Yeah. We'll probably talk to you about that on this podcast.
Mm-hmm. Great. That would be a great forum.
That'll make some hashtag content that we can use. How's our SEO, by the way? Are we SEOing up in here?
I don't know.
I think we should do some keyword stuffing in the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like we should just say words. Now that Apple's apparently going to be like a transcribing podcast or something.
Oh, are they really? I didn't hear this. Oh.
I think this was announced recently-ish, but I haven't seen it yet. But anyway, what's going on in your world?
My world is going pretty good. So last week I was at the conference and I talked about it last time, and now I'm just been back to kind of the product trenches, working on the thing that I was also talking about last time.
So did you not go to the Tiny Seed retreat then?
I did not, sadly. Yeah, it overlapped with JamstackConf. I would have been like missing part of the retreat anyways, and would flying across the world and all the implications of time zone messing with your head. Like, yeah.
Do you feel fairly connected to the Tiny Seed cohort?
I feel like decently connected. I feel like I'm bummed that I missed it. It was a tough call for me because I've heard the stories about how valuable these sessions are that they have on the retreats. Like there's usually some really great takeaways for people. And I've heard individual stories about people like, I wasn't really sure what to bring up about my business. And then as soon as I started talking to the other founders about it, like we went on for an hour and got like through a bunch of meaty stuff. So I'm kind of bummed to miss out on that part. Part of me feels like that would be really valuable for me right now. And it's harder to get that kind of interaction over, Slack, or we do kind of like weekly cohort calls and stuff, or every other week. And so there's a chance to like kind of update people quickly on what you're working on, but it's not the same as being in the same room as people. So a little bit bummed to have missed it. It's been a little bit of a mental struggle this week, and I'm trying to identify what's causing me the most strife. I think I'm mostly frustrated by my single-threadedness. The fact that it's, I'm solo. It's tough to straddle the lines between like building product, being like doing individual contributor work, and then also trying to wear the hat of the visionary and the product researcher and the person who's talking to customers and figuring out, making sure I'm like building what people want and what niches is this most valuable for, and like all these questions that I want to have a lot of certainty about and be working towards answering in a meaningful way, but also faced with the fact that like if I'm gonna build cool stuff, like that's also a very time-consuming, creative, immersive process where it can easily eclipse all your time. Like that's a full-time job in and of itself. So I think just like juggling these multiple, what could be full-time jobs and feeling like, how do I strike the balance well on this and continue to build great product and nail it on the product marketer and customer, like product person who interfaces with customers and juggle all those things. It's hard.
Sounds hard.
Yeah.
It's like any good idea you have, you always have to go do it yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're never like, here's an idea and I can hand it off to someone.
Right. And I know that's both a superpower and a burden. Like it's really cool that I don't have to, write up a ticket and try to describe what I want to do and then interface with the person to make sure it's good. Like there's a certain amount of friction involved with that process too. On the flip side, I'm the only one, so there's no one to delegate that to, and so I think that's the trickiest part. And I'm feeling like time's moving quickly. I don't have enough time to do all the things that I need to do, and also like managing I don't know, managing energy levels. Like, in theory, it's like, yeah, I should be regularly talking to users and trying to make sure the product is on the right track. Just thinking through, like, what are the mechanisms? What are the best ways to approach these kinds of conversations? Do I email the whole list? Do I do a lightweight survey? Do I start reaching out one by one to people? There's everything that you could do as a founder has a bunch of decisions around it. And I think it's like a little bit of decision fatigue that I'm feeling right now, where I kind of sometimes feel like I'm really just flying by the seat of my pants, making a bunch of decisions that are not necessarily well thought out because I don't feel like I have the time to think all of them through really well,
And do you think that's like kind of a downstream effect of not having someone to bounce ideas off of?
Probably, yeah. I mean, I think I have plenty of people to bounce ideas off of, but I think this is maybe the difference between having co-founders and just having friends or mastermind groups or a network of people who are invested in you and willing to help. But like, I'm not gonna necessarily tap that well like 5 times a day as I'm trying to think through my minutia of running my business. I think it's the lacking that like someone else in this with me taking on half the decision making. And so I don't know. I don't have any conclusions or solutions for myself right now. It's just what I'm thinking through and struggling with a little bit, I think.
Totally. I mean, I understand that. That struggle feels very natural to me. I think going it solo is kind of hard mode a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's probably trying to give myself permission, I guess, to go in phases where like, okay, I'm building this meaty, feature that I feel like is kind of a big foundational change to the product and will be good for the product. And like, maybe it's going to take me 2 weeks to build this. And I think I alluded to this before, like about my struggle to commit to taking on long projects because, I get a week and a half in and I'm like, yep, my marketing efforts have definitely slowed down. Like I'm still getting a trickle of signups, but there's a lot fewer. There's not people talking about StaticKit. Like I'm not staying in the public conversation as much because I've been building product and not been doing marketing stuff. And that starts to weigh heavy on me. And I start to feel like, oh no, am I slipping on that front? But I kind of feel like I need to give myself permission to just go deep on building this stuff and then plan to, once that's shipped, then like, all right, now I'm going to reemerge and flip back over to more of the, marketing and product person role.
Do you think it would make sense possibly to have like a part-time marketing person to hand things off to?
Maybe. I haven't really thought about what that would look like. Yeah.
I mean, I could see it not working that well. Like you don't have a process exactly right now or something. Like it might be tough to just be like, take over marketing, or like,
yeah,
it might be one of those things where the additional friction of managing a person and giving them tasks doesn't gain you that much.
Yeah. Because I feel like it's so fuzzy for me right now on what it would really need to be. I feel like a very entrepreneurial person who would take a lot of ownership in setting that direction because,
So that was kind of my short-term thought, but then my longer, bigger picture thing is like, I mean, I feel like solo foundership is hard. Like I honestly would kind of like love to see you teamed up with somebody so you have, that companion in the trenches and, somebody else who's complementing your skill set and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know how you go from where you are to there. That's like, just find an awesome co-founder, man.
Mm-hmm. Taking on co-founders is sort of like marrying people. It's like it's a big deal. Yeah, and that sounds like a lot of work, vetting, like searching, vetting, dating, all of that. Analogous to finding co-founders. Yeah, it's probably worth trying to like have some conversations with other solo founders who have navigated it and see what their strategies were. Because I know people do it. I know that it's been done. But there's always a million different factors that go into every business. It's hard to generalize things. So some solo founders probably hit on something that just kind of like right place, right time, and just had a naturally easier time. And so I want to find some who had to really grind it out to see what
I imagine the benefit will be less like I had this tactic or this thing that worked for me, and more kind of like commiserating and also like being like, okay, this is possible. This person is a normal human. They figured it out. this is doable. That might sort of help spike your energy levels back up again.
Yeah. I'm also like so vulnerable to being influenced by the state of the business. Like I think all of these concerns that I have would be much like I wouldn't be worrying about them if like I scored $1,000 in MRR this week. Like I would be like, oh, everything's fine. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna build product and then I'm gonna switch over to this, and like I wouldn't be so anxious about all this stuff. So and it frustrates me too that I'm allowing myself to get all in my head about the struggles of solo foundership purely because I'm maybe not happy with my conversion rate to paid right now or whatever. It's
yeah. Let me know if you figure that one out.
yeah. Yeah, that's the central struggle, right?
It's super hard to not feel tied to that.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Well,
not to be a downer, man.
No, it's cool. I mean, I like the realness.
Yeah.
And the honesty.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can put a tidy bow on it.
Probably
It's
not.
just kind of it is what it is this week, I guess.
Yeah. To be continued. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what this is, a story.
One thing that has struck me listening back to our old episodes is that sometimes there'll be an episode where I'm just like down. I'm kind of bummed for sure. And then like the next week it's like different person. And it's only 1 week apart. And it's like, oh, well, yeah, I remember I was like really upset about this thing and I was feeling really stressed about that. And then it turned out on the next Friday, I didn't care at all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So maybe just keep a little bit of keep the recency bias in mind and realize like it could just be a couple days and you'll be feeling good.
Yeah. Yeah. I know I'll feel really good once I ship this thing that I've been working on, and like I have a whole slate of decisions left to make around, all right, I have this cool new stuff. Now, what do I do with the hundreds and hundreds of users who have created accounts and have forums? Like, how do I get them smoothly transitioned over? You reach certain points in the cycle of building a feature where you're like, all right, I feel really good about this. And now I need a migration plan for everyone else. Like, I really just don't want to spend the time to do that, but you have to,
man.
Yeah.
That is the part of things I am worst at.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like the last 20% where it's like it's all figured out and now we're just pushing the things down the hill.
Yeah.
It's like, ugh, I'm so bored. Next thing, please.
Yeah.
So I feel your pain.
Yep.
All right, man. Well, good chat.
Yeah. Good chat.
Appreciate the honesty.
Oh yeah, of course.
Do you want to wrap it?
Yeah, let's wrap it.
All right. Show notes.
Show notes can be found at artofproductpodcast.com.
Thanks for listening.
We'll see you next time.